The national flag carrier soaring out of debt ahead tonight. Government's plan to keep Bahamas Air going up, up, up. And more jobs for Exuma as one local resort development looks to fill numerous positions. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Now in HD. ZNS Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Candino Knowles, and welcome to the weekend edition of The Bahamas Tonight. Well, the national flag carrier is beginning to see a turnaround in its financial affairs. This as government is taking measures to turn the beleaguered airline into a viable entity. The country's deputy leader believes the best way to accomplish this is through a public-private partnership. Tonight, Andrew Knowles has this update on government's search for a strategic partner.
Government believes the way forward for Bahamas Air is through a private-public partnership. And Deputy Prime Minister and Minister with responsibility for Bahamas Air, Philip Davis, told ZNS News that the search to find a strategic partner has already begun.
Yes, there have been some what I call exploratory inquiries as to whether or not persons are interested. And yes, there have been some interest expressed. But whether we can reach an arrangement that will continue, that will advance what our mission and goal is and philosophy in respect to the airline. Until that happens, we will continue to do what we are doing now.
It's no secret Bahamas Air has been a strain on the public purse, costing an estimated $20 million annually to operate. And that's why major reform is crucial to enhance the long-term viability of the airline. On Thursday, Bahamas Air commissioned its third jet, which will allow the airline to expand its international routes and generate more revenue.
But as you can see, we're not just going to sit by and wait for that to happen. We are being progressive. We are taking steps to ensure that Bahamas Air is positioned in such a way to take advantage of what we see as a promising and exciting future for the Bahamas.
Executive Chairman Valentine Grimes says a financial turnaround is underway at Bahamas Air as the airline has been improving its revenue collection and reducing costs wherever possible. But still, he says a major challenge exists.
Our employment level cost is very, very high, and we have to find ways to reduce it in relation to our total revenue. We will continue to do that, and by getting this third jet, it allows us a little bit more flexibility, and we think we have a greater chance of accomplishing it. With
the acquisition of its newest aircraft, it brings Bahamas Air's fleet to 8. 3 Boeing 737-500 jets and 5 -8s, which Grimes says need some upgrades.
They have a lifespan of so many years, and in a number of cases, the years are significant. We have been able to maintain them and keep them flying safely, but there comes a time when they become, you get diminishing results. But we have been able to do so far, but at some point in time, in the short order, we need to look at replacing our -8 fleets, or at least a portion of them.
Andrew Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Well, new job opportunities surfacing as developers of February Point, Exuma are looking to fill a number of positions. Many residents with a wide range of skills turned out for a job fair hosted by the development group in hopes of securing employment. LaDawn Davis was on the island today and has more.
As early as 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, more than 200 Bahamians flocked here at the St. Andrews Parish Community Center, hoping to seek employment at February Point. Now, a few of them we spoke to talked about what positions they are applying for.
Well, I'm applying for starting because I like washing dishes, like taking out the trash can, just making sure my job go well. And I'm a really hard worker, I just like to make people laugh.
For the past year, and I'm trying to, better myself and also seek employment in the administrative area so I can, assist in that area.
The people down here there's no work at all. I'm a professional carpenter and I can't find work.
Applying for landscaping, and all this in the summer we really need jobs, so to take our family and take care of our bills and everything, important things we need. So all this really need a job here so bad.
I'm not too sure what I want to do as yet, but Anything that I can get right now, I would take.
Vice President of February Point, Burton Rogers, says the company is seeking to hire at least 30 people to work on the first phase of the project. He says positions in housekeeping, security, construction, landscaping, and office administration are available.
That will then almost triple, because then other aspects of the development will be added as we go along. There's multiple phases to the project. From what we're doing now is just what is there now, the existing operation, and trying to get that stabilized, as I said earlier. And then as we expand on the different phases of the development, then that will increase.
Area MP Anthony Moss accepts that the unemployment rate on the island is relatively high, but he assured Exumians that this job fair will not only boost that island's staggering economy, but put more Bahamians back to work.
There are a number of investments that are on tap as we speak. As you are aware, that the Exuma is made up of a number of islands and keys, so there's a number of investment going on in the Exuma Keys. But this investment here today, of which you have witnessed the job fair for February Point, gives a great opportunity for those who live on this side of the island.
Now, if those 30 positions are not filled this time around, Rogers says they plan to have a second job fair before the end of the year. LaDawn Davis, ZNS Network News.
Here in the capital, renovations to the Kamaikoro Detention Center are nearly complete after months of work. Government allocated $1 million for the construction of 2 new dormitories at the facility that houses illegal migrants. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Immigration, Cleola Hamilton, spoke with us about the status of the project.
Buildings from the detention center are just about complete, so accommodations can be a little better and we can have it in a more humane environment, have persons in a more human environment. In each building right now can hold maximum of 50 bed space. So with the other 4 that are 2 coming up, that will be another 200.
Now, the detention center previously had 5 dormitories but were destroyed by fire in 2004. Hamilton says the additional space is necessary to comfortably hold detainees and added that efforts are also being made to improve conditions at the facility.
We are looking into putting an area where the visitors can sit comfortably and meet with their families. And of course, we are looking for more recreational facilities for them right now.
Well, several local vendors have already inquired about offering electronic monitoring device services to government as the search that is for a new contract continues. The agreement with ICS Security Limited expired 4 months ago, but that company is still providing those services. Minister of National Security, the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage.
We have decided that we wanted to do a new request for proposal, taking into consideration the weaknesses that we think have been existing in the system as we met it. And our intention is to enable whoever wishes in the Bahamas to apply to provide the service, and including ICS, and give them an opportunity to see what they produce. But we have had a committee that's been looking on what is it that we want in the system. They have now reported. We expect to send out the request for proposal sometime before the end of this month, and we'll give them about 5 weeks or so to respond to it.
And speaking of electronic monitoring devices, a man who was wearing one while on bail is back in prison after he appeared in court yesterday for possession of ammunition. 30-year-old Dustin Gamal Taylor pleaded guilty to the charge and was sentenced to 4 years. Taylor and his 53-year-old mother were arrested after officers discovered 20 rounds of ammunition at their home on Trinity Way and Bethel Avenue this week. Charges were dropped against the mother. Taylor was on bail at the time for murder and 2 separate counts of unlawful sexual assault. And 6 adult males and a juvenile were arrested in Harbour Island for possession of drugs. The arrest was made yesterday after police on the island discovered a quantity of marijuana in the Pitt and Princess Street area. We understand the men are still in custody for questioning. And you may remember the missing woman whose remains were found deep in the pine forest in Andros last December. Well, she was laid to rest today, almost 3 months following that discovery. Family and friends of 28-year-old Triska Brennan said their final goodbyes today at the Southwest Church of God during a homegoing service in honor of Brainin. It was back in November last year when Brainin and 49-year-old immigration officer Shane Gardner went missing in Andros. An island-wide search was mounted for the couple several weeks later, but it was in late December when hunters stumbled across skeletal remains in the tall pine forest. DNA testing was later conducted to determine whether the remains were in fact those of Brainin and Gardner. Well, still to come in the weekend edition, firefighters keeping a close eye on the fiery city dump. We've got that and more in a moment.